Hi, you guys. Welcome back for our daily practice questions. It is day 27, and as always, you know I like to first get into my introduction and disclaimer before getting started with our questions for today. So, for those of you who are familiar with me, hey y'all. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Brittany Weinstock. I am a family nurse practitioner, and I am the founder and CEO of the Nursing Studio. I provide resources, tools, review courses, review videos, review books, digital flashcards, Q banks, one on one sessions, and more to assist nurses as well as nurse practitioners with success on their boards as well as in practice. I've been doing this since 2015, assisting nurses and nurse practitioners internationally with exam success. Now, y'all know my disclaimer and reminder is that there's no absolutes in medicine. We treat on a patient by patient basis, and any of the questions that you see here, I have designed and created based on the current guidelines being tested on the ANCC as well as AAMP exam. Now, any of my videos where I'm teaching on things that we currently do in practice, I will always say that so there's no confusion. So, with that being said, let's get into question number one for today. Real briefly, before we get into question number one, I do want to say, y'all, and those of you who have been following me for some time, y'all know I come up with silly, crazy, funny things, lighthearted. They might be the strangest mnemonics, and I call them Brittany's Brilliance, to help you guys retain. And oftentimes I create things that just come to my mind that stand out and is not like your normal or what have you, to make it something that is going to be memorable, something that is going to just be so left field that when you're testing, it comes back to you. Never are any of my mnemonics intended to be offensive or anything of that nature. So, if anything is found that way, I do apologize from that standpoint, as that is never my intent. It is simply designed to assist you with your learning and hopefully to help it stand out. And it was brought to my attention that y'all probably, and I know a lot of you are, because I get a lot of good feedback on the retention of the murmur mnemonics. You know, I always say there's so many mnemonics for murmurs, and I tell you guys to use what stands, that works for you. But I always say for sassy systolic, my mnemonic was men really are stupid. And I found that someone let me know that that was offensive to them. And so again, I'm never trying to offend anyone. And I for going forward, I will say something more like men really are silly. Again, I want it to stand out because so that you can remember it. So I try to do little lighthearted things so that it can be something to aid in retention and never to demean, offend, or pick at anyone in any shape, form, or fashion. Um, you know, and that's all it is to it. So if anybody took it that way, I do apologize. That's not my intent. I hope that for those of you that it helped, that I'm happy that you were able to utilize it in that resource. But I will switch it. So if you see me in the future with it being changed, that is why. Because again, nothing that I'm doing is designed to be hurtful, offensive, because that's not what we do over here. But although I am Dr. Weinstock, I am my personality is lighthearted, joking, and I guess I did not consider that. But now that it's been brought to my attention, that is why I'll be changed. So forgive me, you guys, but sorry for the rant. I just wanted to make sure and clear that up. But let's get into our questions for today. And thank y'all for all the feedback. Look, I take good, bad, happy, sad feedback. I'm open to it all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now to question number one. A 22-year-old patient presents with asthma symptoms that occur less than twice a month. The report no night They report no nighttime awakenings and minimal interference with daily activities. Based on the GINA guidelines, how would you classify this patient's asthma? Is it A, intermittent asthma, B, mild persistent asthma, C, moderate persistent asthma, or D, severe persistent asthma? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments, you guys. All right. As always, I recommend reading the stem of the question first, as it allows you to slow down to ensure you're answering what is even being asked of you, right? So here the stem of the question states, based on the GINA guidelines, how would you classify this patient's asthma? So let's see what they have going on. We have a 22-year-old patient presenting with asthma symptoms that occur less than twice a month, and they report no nighttime awakenings and minimal interference with daily activities. So in this scenario, this again will be intermittent asthma, right? Because they're not having any nighttime awakenings, right? So they are symptomatic, no nighttime awakenings. We classify that as intermittent asthma. And I will go more into detail. As y'all know, each one of my questions kind of cover a little bit all in that area. So I don't want to get to explaining too deep and give you the answers to the next question, if that makes sense. But we will I'll just say, that intermittent asthma is considered less than 2 times a month of nighttime awakenings, but also in the scenarios like this, what helps you are those symptoms, and they are occurring less than twice a month. So again, intermittent. Question number 2. A 38-year-old patient reports experiencing asthma symptoms more than twice a week, but less than daily. They have nighttime awakenings more than twice a month, but less than once a week. According to GINA guidelines, how will you classify this patient's asthma? Is it A, intermittent asthma, B, mild persistent asthma, C, moderate persistent asthma, or D, severe persistent asthma? Take a moment. Tell me what you got in the comments, y'all. All right, so stem of the question here, according to the GINA guidelines, how would you classify the patient's asthma? All right, so this is a 38-year-old patient. They are experiencing asthma symptoms more than twice a week, but less than daily. And they have nighttime awakenings more than twice a month, but less than once a week. So the best answer here is B, mild persistent asthma. With mild persistent asthma, they can have nighttime awakenings anywhere from 3 to 4 times a month. And then also to solidify that answer, the symptoms are more than twice a week, but they're less than daily. Because remember, if they were having the symptoms daily, it would be considered moderate persistent, right? As well as if they were having more nighttime awakenings. Why can't I phrase this correctly? Nighttime awakenings more than one time a week, right? But not every night. Then that would be considered moderate. So they're having it twice a month, but it is specified that it's less than once a week. All right. And I'll run through all of it in just a second. All right. And question number 3. A 45-year-old patient with asthma reports frequent symptoms of wheezing and breathlessness on a daily basis. They also experience nighttime awakenings more than once a week, disrupting their sleep and affecting daily activities. Based on the GINA guidelines, what is the most appropriate classification for this patient's asthma? Is it A, mild persistent asthma, B, moderate persistent asthma, C, severe persistent asthma, or D, very severe persistent asthma? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments, y'all. All right, so STEM here, based on the GINA guidelines, what is the most appropriate classification for this patient's asthma? All right, so what we got going on? All right. So we have a 45-year-old patient with asthma reports frequent symptoms of wheezing and breathlessness on a daily basis. They also experience nighttime awakenings more than once a week, disrupting their sleep and affecting daily activities. All right, so it's more than once a week and it's affecting daily activities. So your best answer would be B, moderate persistent asthma, because remember, it's greater than once a week. Now, they're not having it every day. If it was every day of the week that they're being awakened at night, that would be severe persistent. So let me just run through everything really quickly, because I know this can be a lot when you're trying to process through the nighttime awakenings, the symptoms, all of the things, right? So let's run to, again, with asthma, we have intermittent, we have mild persistent, we have moderate persistent, we have severe persistent. Or you can think of this as stage 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And so in that intermittent phase, remember we talked about this on yesterday, intermittent phase, they have symptoms less than 2 days per week, right? But they have nighttime awakenings less than 2 times a month. And so if we go back to question number 1, that's why it was intermittent, because if you look at it, Their asthma symptoms occur less than twice a month and they report no nighttime awakenings. So that's the least, so that falls into that intermittent phase. Now, for mild persistent, they have symptoms more than 2 days a week, but they're not every day, right? So we went from less than 2 days a week to now more than 2 days a week, but it's not as as severe that we have it every single day. That's symptoms. Now, the nighttime awakenings in the intermittent phase, remember, we have nighttime awakenings less than 2 times a month. Now, in the mild persistent phase, they have nighttime awakenings anywhere from 3 to 4 times a month. Okay. So, again, here in question two, they have symptoms more than twice a week, but not daily. That should have alerted you already that this is mild persistence. But they have the nighttime awakenings more than twice a month, but less than once a week. And that's letting you know that it's more than twice a month. So it's not intermittent, right? But it's not once a week. So then it's not moderate, right? So that lets you know it's mild persistent. That confirms, I should say, you're mild persistent. Now, moderate persistent, we have symptoms every day with moderate persistent. In nighttime awakenings, we have symptoms greater than 1 time a week, but not nightly. All right. So that's why here they have nighttime awakenings more than once a week, but it didn't express that they were having these every night, right? So that's the moderate phase. And then severe persistent, they have symptoms all throughout the day, but their nighttime awakenings are often every night, right? So think about the progression. With symptoms, we go from less than 2 days a week, then more than 2 days a week, but not every day. Then we go up to every day. Then we have it all throughout the day, right? And then the nighttime awakenings go from less than 2 times a month, 3 to 4 times a month, greater than once a week, but not nightly, and then nightly, right? So it progresses. So I always say just pay attention and make your ranges. Again, if you look at it in a chart and write it down in a chart like this, you will always be able to answer these questions. And this is one of those things, because there's so many moving pieces and parts, that you need the chart and you need to look at it daily until you have it. Write that thing out, look over it. I don't care if you just glance in the chart on your lunch break, glance in the chart before you go to bed, glance in the chart when you're waiting to pick your kids up from practice. Whatever it is, glance at it, because repetition is the key to retention. All right, you guys, I hope you found this helpful. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with whomever you may think may find this beneficial as well. But y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. And if you need any of the resources that I do offer, feel free to reach out to the nursing studio by giving us a call at 803-400-6864. You can also shoot a text message to this number or shoot us an email to thenursingstudio, the number one, at gmail.com. All of the things that I do offer are linked in the bio of this channel, including my website. And as always, if you're looking to book any of my one-on-one sessions, any of my custom packages or plans, I always say you can either call, text, or email. And as I prefer to speak with you guys first so that I can ensure that you are booking the appropriate session type, because I like to gauge what you really need and make sure that whatever you are booking is appropriate for those needs. Okay. All right. Y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. Happy studying. Bye, y'all.